You wouldn't think that the Joseph Project would be controversial. It's a successful, faith-based initiative that links unemployed men from the inner city with jobs in nearby counties. Senator Ron Johnson has teamed with a local pastor, and it's been the subject of one of his more effective television ads. But last week, Johnson's challenger, Russ Feingold, seemed to dismiss the program, telling one interviewer, "It's not enough to pick people up in a van and send them away a couple of hours and then have them come back exhausted at the end of the day. That doesn't make a community." Well, Johnson fired back. Senator Feingold is not only denigrating the Joseph Project, he's denigrating the dozens of hardworking people in Milwaukee and Madison who have taken these jobs and are trying to break cycles of poverty and improve their communities. He owes those who participated in the Joseph Project an apology. He also put out this ad featuring some of the program's participants.
They're doing an awesome job. I heard about a lot of people getting jobs, getting back into the workforce, and that's what people need, especially in the urban area. If they can just, they don't need a handout, they just need somebody to help lift them up. And what Senator Ron Johnson is doing along with Pastor Smith is help lifting people up.
Here I am working at a factory, a multi-millionaire company, and making good money, supporting my family, my friends, giving back to my community. Just everything that I hope for and wish for, I'm doing it.
Because let's face it, there's a lot of people out there proclaiming to do what the Joseph Project is claiming to do. So we're not talking it, we're living it and we're doing it. And that makes the difference.
Life was on the wrong track until I joined the Joseph Project, and it changed my life.
My kids, when I put my suit on, I'm like Superman to them.
Joining me on our panel this morning, the Milwaukee Community Journal's Michael Holt, former state representative Michelle Litchens, political strategist Linda Bruin, and the president of Edge Messaging, Brian Fraley. I just want to get your reaction, Michael Holt, to the Joseph Project and why Russ Feingold thought it was appropriate to take a shot.
I think it was a misstep on his part. He should have left that alone. You know, this tomorrow, Monday, they're going to kick off their 16th group of men who'll be going back and forth to Sheboygan and elsewhere for these jobs. You know, this is why I remain independent politically, because here you have a successful program, you know, a successful program that, from the, you've heard, giving meaning to these men. They're able to assume their roles as head of household, and then you have, you know, the Democratic candidate, you know, blasting it just because it's politically expedient.
Okay, Michelle, I thought it was interesting that Russ Feingold said, well, it's not a big, put them in a van, they come back exhausted. It's called a job.
A job,
right?
a job that people desperately need in the city of Milwaukee. This shows how out of touch Russ Feingold is. Let's think about it. The federal government spends about $18 billion a year, and has for decades, on job training and what have they got in our society. Russ Feingold doesn't understand what a real job entails and how to get them. And I know he was ridiculing the program because it's faith-based. We know faith-based programs are far more successful than secular programs are.
Russ Feingold is still, you know, probably, you know, favored in this race. Although I thought it was interesting that the Democratic National Committee, the Senate Majority Committee is dumping a bunch of money here into Wisconsin, which would suggest that they're seeing something that this race is tightening a little bit.
Well, I do think that it's tightening up. I think that's expected. I think I'd agree with all the comments everyone's made, except for the thing Michelle said about that he's ridiculing it because it's faith-based. I don't believe that about. Well, I think the bottom line with this program is that the only legitimate point he has to make is that it would be great if the jobs were locally based. Well, who wouldn't prefer not to have to trek, you know, 100 miles somewhere? But the bottom line is that these folks, that's their livelihood and a job, and it's a lot better than having
Give me a sense of how this plays, if it plays at all.
This may seem to be a small thing, but this is absolutely everything that's wrong with Russ Feingold. Smarmy. Government is the only solution to problems. Don't give people opportunity. Give them a handout. And holy cow, am I threatened by anyone having any sort of independence from the government. This is exactly why he should not get his job back.